Well, a very good evening and many thanks indeed for joining us. My name is Mondi Otieno and we're coming to you live from Kenyatta University Amphitheater, where the Culture Week is culminating to such an amazing event. Right on time for KUTV Primetime News. Now, a lot has happened during the day and within our country and also beyond our borders. But first, let's take a look at the stories making headlines tonight. Chief Justice Martha Koome faults Willy Mutunga for inciting judges to strike. President Kenyatta asks KRA to curb revenue laws through tax evasion. UN Security Council challenges women to seek leadership positions. Tonight, we feature Harun Ibrahim, a reformed criminal struggling to gain acceptance in Kibera.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Mondi Otieno.
Welcome to the broadcast, and I'm not alone. I'm with the company of Vivian Wangeshi, who is our sign language interpreter tonight. We are streaming this broadcast live on our social media platforms on Facebook, KUTV Kenya, and on Twitter, KUTV_Kenya. The event is also coming to you live on Kenyatta University broadcast on the website. Now, Chief Justice Martha Koome has told judges to disregard the call by their former predecessor, Willy Mutunga, that was calling upon them to strike and to down their tools. Now, Martha Koome said that such expression threatened the lives and the livelihoods of many Kenyans. Now, this comes after what is termed as a disregard by the executive to follow the court orders. Let's take a look at that.
Thanks very much.
Kenya's former Chief Justice Willy Mutunga on Thursday at the United Green Movement Party headquarters in Nairobi urged judges to down their tools to compel the executive to obey court orders and rule of law.
If you want a new Kenya, okay? If you want a new Kenya, start listening to these new voices.
And today, the current judiciary primus inter pares, Martha Koome, has hit back at the sentiments, calling her house to order, as she said that the implications of such incitement from Mutunga are meant to disrupt access to justice for Kenyans. I register deep concern and disapproval of the call made by former Chief Justice Dr. Willy Mutunga for judges to go on strike. The implications of calling a judicial strike are far-reaching. It is in part calling for the suspension or dismemberment of the Constitution by excluding one arm of government from the constitutional operations of our democratic state. The former Chief Justice's perilous call for judges to down their tools, an outcome he consciously avoided during his tenure, is not the answer. End quote. The United Political Front, constituted of the Ukweli Party, Communist Party of Kenya, and the United Green Movement Party, today reiterated the calls to the judiciary to down their tools in protest of what they allege to be an undermining of the judiciary's independence.
So we hear political parties and the former Chief Justice convening us to say that on issues of the rule of law, first with the Miguna, we must get him back home. Number two, on the issue of swearing in of the judges, we will work together, and we've requested the judges, and Chief Justice has more coordination there, to down their tools.
The front has leveled issues, among them being the appointment and swearing in of the 6 judges by the president and the deportation of the NRM leader Miguna.
We would like everyone in leadership, in government, to know that Kenya is bigger than them and they must respect the rule of law. The law cannot be applied selectively.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has already leveled an appeal against the High Court ultimatum, aimed to compel him to appoint the 6th, failure to which would see the CJ swear them in and bypass the executive of our failure to perform.
I wish to call on all parties to stop judicial activism and allow us to proceed with the measures that we have put in place that have been approved by Parliament.
And allegations from the staff that the staff and the personnel closely associated with the National Intelligence Service are being deployed to threaten, intimidate, and harass judges and judicial officers either during adjudication or after delivery of their decisions, which have been perceived to go against the expectations of the executive.
The calls by the front come days after the International Commission of Jurists ICJ, which is among the interested parties in the appeal, weighed in on the matter, forwarding claims of intimidation, threats, and harassment of judges and magistrates. Claims sent in an open letter to national security agencies in the country and the Chief Justice Martha Koome. Emmanuel Kutosi, KUTV.
Now, thank you so much, Emmanuel Kutosi, for that report. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta has called on the Kenya Revenue Authority to ensure that no tax, not even a single cent, is lost through tax evasion. Now, the head of state was presiding over the 2021 National Taxpayers Day in Nairobi, where he saluted all the taxpayers for promptly meeting their tax obligations. Uhuru emphasized that the relationship between the taxpayer and the authority must be one of mutual respect, continuous agreement, and fidelity to the law. National Treasury CS Ukur Yatani witnessed the positive signs of the trajectory to enable the government meet its development priorities. During the event, Safaricom received an award for being the overall top large taxpayer, while the medium top taxpayer award went to Premier Credit Limited.
Your Excellency, we want to... My administration will continue to implement comprehensive and dynamic measures to ease the regulatory compliance burdens. We want to make it easier to start and to operate businesses in Kenya. We want to support our youth, our women, and all persons living with disabilities through preferential access to public procurement opportunities.
And now to matters of politics. A section of leaders from the Mount Kenya region have heavily criticized the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Now this comes after the allegations that the EACC Commission was after the Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru, who defected from the Jubilee to the United Democratic Alliance, a party led by the Deputy President William Ruto. Now, George Mapesa has more details on this report.
As Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru was defecting to Deputy President William Ruto's camp on Tuesday, detectives were finalizing investigations into corruption allegations at the county government, which could see her arrested as early as next week. This has raised concerns among DP Ruto allies, and now they claim Waiguru planned arrest is because of her decision to join Hustler Nation camp of the UDA party.
How come yesterday tumeona sasa magazeti ikianza kuandika ati EACC are looking for Anne Waiguru? Tunaambia mama Anne Waiguru, wewe simama ngangali, usitishike, Kangata ni wakili, Mheshimiwa ni wakili. We shall be there for any of our persons who will be taken to court. We will offer free legal services.
The leaders say EACC has failed as a government commission for being used against leaders supporting DP Ruto race to the State House.
EACC hata mukitisha viongozi wetu wa Mount Kenya hatutaitikia kurudi pande ya Raila. Hamtatumiwa EACC as a tool ya kukampeinia mtu ambaye anaitwa Raila Odinga.
This is barely 4 days after Governor Waiguru's decision that made headlines, leaving political analysts in dilemma on what could be her impact in the United Democratic Alliance Party.
As I stand here before these great citizens of Murang'a County, I have been arrested before for only one reason, that I am afraid of William Ruto. They have arrested Rigathi Gachagua. They have arrested most of the leaders who are in Hustler Nation UDA. But I want to remind them that we are not cowards.
Watu wa Mlima Kenya wanatusaidia kuandika historia mpya ya taifa letu la Kenya. Kwa msimamo wao, watu wa Mlima Kenya ambao wametoa, wanataka tubadilishe hii nchi. Tutoke kwa siasa ya chuki na ukabila na migawanyiko, tuende kwa siasa ya kuunganisha taifa lote la Kenya.
The DP, however, seemed to sidestep the matter, focusing on the polls, noting that the voters are keen on who they want to elect as their president in 2022, and they will be going for someone who has development record in the country.
Kila kiongozi ajipange na chama cha kitaifa. Kila kiongozi, wale ambao wanaendesha chama ya kabila hii na kabila hii na kabila ile, tafadhalini, watu wa Kenya wanatuambia tuachane na siasa ya ukabila.
Waiguru has reiterated that the issues assailing her are political and backed by her opponents, insisting that her political ambition will not be derailed. George Mapesa, KUTV.
And away from the hustler politics now, with just 5 days remaining to the closure of the mass registration exercise in the country, voter apathy continues to be of much great concern. Now, the trend of Kenyans seemingly shunning the mass voter registration exercise is on another scale in Mavoko sub-county in Machakos County. Take a look at this. The month-long reduced to weeks and weeks now to just few days remaining to the end of the massive voter registration exercise. Voter registration apathy is a growing concern as sluggish response continues to be witnessed in the exercise. In Mavoko sub-county, Machakos County, Dennis Onganga, the Assistant County Commissioner, has revealed the projected target of 40,000 voters for the entire Mavoko sub-county may not be achieved in the few remaining days.
Pia tungependa kuhimiza our political leaders, the clergy, the business community, watu wa sokoni hapa, wote waweze kushikana pamoja, wapeane ujumbe kwa wananchi wetu kwamba we need to register as per our target.
The Assistant County Commissioner has appealed to local leaders and administrators to join hands in the mobilization efforts for the locals toward the exercise in a bid to catch up with the wide deficit and avoid last-minute rush.
Ningependa kuambia kwamba wacha tuache kungoja siku ya mwisho, because on such a day wakati tunakuja sisi wote ndio tunapata challenges, na vile mnajua bado tuko na COVID.
Despite the general low turnout in the country, the IBC, through its boss Afula Chebukati, has assured Kenyans that the next general elections will be free, fair and credible, as they are working in place with other agencies to ensure all is set for the 2022 polls.
I know Kenyans will normally wait until last minute to come out. So your last minute now is now, because we are closing on 2nd of November.
It is now a challenge to the whole populace to make their voices count in the forthcoming polls. And on my chronometer, it's 15 minutes past the top of the hour. It's time we take our first break here on KUTV Primetime News. We still have much for you, so keep it right here. Don't dice the dice. We are taking a break. See you on the other side.
M-Shamba Digital is a smart farming device, or rather it's an agri-tech solution that targets all farmers. We tailor-make it according to the customer's needs. So first, we would like to know where you want to practice or rather where you want to install this. we construct them in such a way that it's able to maneuver or rather survive through any kind of condition. It's a plug-and-play system. There are connectors on the other end that, you know, just basically allows the user to easily set up. So like that, you just connect and you're good to go with the sensor.
Hey there, are you an undergraduate, university or college student? Have you already applied for this year's My Little Big Thing Challenge? Visit mylittlebigthing.com for more details on how your green idea can win you up to 100,000 Kenya shillings. And remember, application is free. Bure, nothing.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us on KUTV Prime Time News. Remember, you can share your thoughts with us on our social media platforms on Facebook, KUTV Kenya, and on Twitter, KUTV_Kenya. This broadcast is also live on the Kenyatta University website. We continue. Now, let's take a look at what's happening in the world of sports. Now, over 400 persons have participated in the virtual event held by the Standard Chartered Marathon, which was held in Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. The marathon brought together lecturers, students, and people living with disabilities. MMUST Vice Chancellor Solomon Shibaro said the partnership with the Standard Chartered Bank is crucial in spearheading the Future Makers program, which the bank targets from the funds raised through the marathon. At the same time, the head of branches Standard Chartered Bank Kenya, John Ambuche, lauded the community participation in the marathon.
So today we are holding in this campus in the western part of Kenya. The theme of this year's marathon is greening. We believe in greening. If you see behind you is our forest, the Kakamega forest, probably the only standing equatorial forest in Kenya.
This is just the beginning, so we're encouraging the whole community really to just start participating in this event for personal reasons, for whatever cause that you're running for, but just get involved and do some running. It's good for your health.
And now let's take a look at what's happening in the football world, where Ulinzi Stars put 2 past the sloppy AFC Leopards at Thika Stadium to move at the summit of Football Federation Premier League table with 10 points, one above the second place Nairobi City Stars. Right back Brian Bagen broke the deadlock 2 minutes before the breather to give the 2010 champions a deserved lead before Simiyu, who was making his full debut for Ulinzi, struck the last nail on the Igwe's coffin 57 minutes later. The defeat leaves Leopards 12th on the table after the back-to-back defeat against Gor Mahia, Kariobangi Sharks and Ulinzi Stars.
Stars imekuja kuvunjilia mbali historia hii kwamba kati ya mechi 5 basi wameshindwa mara 4. Lango kule James Saruni alikuwa na matumaini kwamba
And now that brings us to the end of the bulletin tonight. Many thanks indeed for your valid company through the bulletin. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Vivian Wangeshi. My name is Omondi Otieno. Now, we are going back to the live broadcast, the event we are having here, the Culture Week, that is culminating to such an amazing event. I'm telling you that this is one of the events that you should never miss. For them who are not with us here, remember we are broadcasting these on our social media platforms on Facebook, KUTV Kenya, and on Twitter, KUTV_Kenya. It is also on the Kenyatta University website. Tomorrow, be sure to join Stanley Nyaringita for the Weekend Prime Bulletin. And you and I know what that means. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Sophie's Gallery, Nairobi's luxury furniture store. With a new store coming soon to Ananas Center, we are celebrating our growth by giving you a clearance sale with up to 50% off all furniture. Find us at Two Rivers Mall on the first floor, because this deal you don't want to miss. So hurry while stocks last. See you there.
They don't know what they're even looking for. Dimash. Ask them, they don't know what they're even looking for. And I'm not ashamed, no, no. I'm not ashamed, no, oh, 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 oh. I'm not ashamed, no, no. I'm not ashamed, no, oh, 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 oh.
Niaje wasee, hii ni Church O'Clock Show manzina. Hapa kuna kitu inaitwa Gospel Art Segment. Hii ni segment yenye mazee tunapatana na wasee wanafanya art zao, wasanii, photographers, producers, DJs. Kama wewe ni dancer, we bring you here mazee, we show the world what you're doing and how you're using your art to reach the hearts out there.
Worship the Lord with gladness and come before him with joyful songs. That's exactly what we do right here on the Church O'Clock Show. Becky Esther here with my co-host Twinnie Esther Becky. We are not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, proclaiming him and making him known through Bible expositions, topical discussions, and of course your life questions answered right here on the Church O'Clock Show Word segment.
Yes, na tuko ndani ya Church O'Clock Show every Sunday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on KUTV.
Amen. Amen.
We should appreciate them for coming out and showcasing their talents in different abilities. All right. They are getting ready. Wakiwa basi wanakuwa tayari. DJ Diwizi, shtua kitu kidogo tu. Watu wangu wakiwa changamke. Mko tayari kuchangamka? DJ Diwizi, rusha kitu.